Okay, what's going on? It's Fight Season MMA, and today I want to talk about my official UFC 304 predictions and everything I think that you should bet on and what you should stay away from, how good this fight card is, and break down how some of these fighters are going to win. I made my UFC 304 hot takes yesterday, and some of this is going to go into that further more as a breakdown rather than just a prediction, but I just wanted to make this video to fully solidify my betting odds for you guys, if you guys do want to use those, and if you guys want a little advice on what fights to go into, expecting some fun, and some fights to stay away from if you guys want to expect some more boring fights. Thank you guys so much for watching the UFC content. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, and we're almost there. So please go down and hit that subscribe button because 98% of my viewers who watch are not subscribed, and it would be so much to go down and hit that subscribe button. But let's jump right into my UFC 304 predictions and my betting lines. Okay, so first off, I want to point out two fights that I think are going to be amazing fights. There was a fight that just got moved up to the to the main card. They took Manel Kape versus Mohamed Mokaev off that card and moved it to the early prelims for I don't know what reason. But the fight that replaced it is Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory Rodriguez, and that's going to be an absolute war. I love watching RoboCop fight. He's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. He's got absolute just toughness embedded in his veins, and Christian Leroy Duncan is a fun striker from the UK. And I think this is going to be an amazing fight. If I had to bet on this fight, I don't know if I would because this is a very, very, very intense striking match. But if I had to bet, I would bet on Gregory Rodriguez going into the UK, into enemy territory, and getting that job done. Now, the other fight that I would that I really like to watch is actually a women's fight is Molly McCann versus Breno Brazil. And Molly McCann is always a UK favorite. The meatball goes in there and swings for her fans all the time in the UFC, especially when she fights in the UK. So I have Molly McCann winning that fight, and that would be one of those fights that I feel like could be very exciting, and I would bet on Molly McCann defending home territory in that same category. Okay, so moving to the main card, I want to start with Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze, and I got Arnold Allen winning this fight. I think Arnold Allen's record of 19-3 compared to Giga Chikadze's 15-3 is kind of the same, but Arnold Allen has looked so good against some of these top competitions. He fought Max Holloway and did pretty good, fought Movsar Evloev, and almost won a squeaky close decision at UFC 297. And I think that Arnold Allen is going to go in there and remind everyone that he is one of the best up-and-coming prospects in the UFC right now. And I think that this fight against Giga Chikadze is going to be a very favorable striking matchup from Arnold Allen. I had Arnold Allen beating Movsar Evloev last time, and I wouldn't say that that was a bad prediction because that fight was razor close, and there was a lot of things that really impacted that fight. I know in the final round, Movsar was keeping his hand on the ground, and now that they're just implemented a rule change, hopefully that will get passed by the UFC rules makers, where you cannot have an arm on the ground to be counted as a grounded opponent. But going into this fight, I have Arnold Allen winning. He is just so well-rounded, and that would be possibly a fight that I would bet on, having Arnold Allen beating Giga Chikadze, because I think Arnold Allen on a 2-fight losing streak is going to want to come in there and perform in front of his home crowd of England. Okay, the next fight I want to hit briefly is Bobby Green or King Green versus Paddy Pimblett, and this would be a fight that I would not bet on. This would be a fight that I'm going to stay away from because Paddy Pimblett has a style that really would be good against Bobby Green, being able to wrestle, but you look at that Jim Miller fight, and Jim Miller also had a style that would be very favorable to fight Bobby Green, and he got pieced up on the feet. Now, I do have Bobby Green winning this fight, but I'm not confident in that decision, putting that out there fully as a betting man. But yes, I do have Bobby Green winning this fight. I just think that experience and all of that striking, that uncanny ability are going to really help him on the feet. And I think Bobby Green is going to have a massive speed advantage over Paddy Pimblett. And the only way Paddy wins this fight is if he goes and takes Bobby down. And I don't know if he can do that. But I just see Bobby Green going in there and piecing up Paddy Pimblett so much on the feet that truly I just think that Bobby Green is going to go in there and absolutely destroy Paddy Pimblett this Saturday. And Bobby Green is going to be able to get on and keep going with his legacy, keep going in that 50 professional fight career, and keep going on to beat someone and go up in the rankings further. But like I said, this would be a fight that I would not bet on. I can totally see Paddy Pimblett winning this fight. If his striking is improved and if he can get Bobby Green down to the ground, I 100% see him winning this. But I do think the speed advantage is going to be apparent for Bobby Green, and I think that that is going to be something that really helps Bobby Green moving forward in this fight. In the co-main event, I have Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes, and this is a fight that I'm super confident on, and I don't know if you would rather go for Tom Aspinall for the KO, But I do have Tom Aspinall winning this fight. And the reason I'm not fully confident going by Tom Aspinall by KO is that Tom Aspinall's wrestling ability is super good. He's a great jiu-jitsu artist. And I'm more confident going towards KO because Curtis Blades is a great wrestler too. And he will be able to stop some of the takedowns and he'll be able to defend some of the submissions. But Tom Aspinall is so fast and so good, and I 100% would bet on Tom Aspinall winning this fight. I made a video, like I said, a couple days ago, talking about how Tom Aspinall has all the tools to become the greatest UFC heavyweight of all time, but I do think that this is one of the hardest fights in the UFC heavyweight division for Tom Aspinall, that being Curtis Blades. I'm a massive Curtis Blades fan, and his skills are amazing. He just beat Jailton Almeida at UFC 299, where Almeida was a force to be reckoned with coming up. And Curtis Blades went out there and hit Jailton Almeida with some crazy hammer fists and elbows as he was going for a takedown. But in this fight, I do have Tom Aspinall winning pretty handily, but I don't know if that would be by 5-round absolute masterclass or by KO. I would not bet on this fight by submission, even though it's possible to happening, because I think Curtis Blades' submission defense is going to be really, really good considering his background in wrestling and jiu-jitsu. But I do have Tom Aspinall by win and possibly by KO, but I would just stick by Tom Aspinall by win to be safe. And if you are going to go very, very, very out there with a KO or sub decision, I would 100% go for the KO over the sub. But Tom Aspinall goes out there and beats Curtis Blades, in my opinion. And Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad. And this is a fight that I don't really want to bet on, but if I did bet on this one, it would be Leon Edwards winning this fight. In this fight, I'm not as against betting like the Bobby Green and Paddy Pimblett fight, but I do think that Leon Edwards goes out there and beats Belal Muhammad. I think Belal Muhammad is going to have a very hard time getting Leon Edwards to the ground, and this is not going to be a contest in the striking department. I just see that there's more ways for Leon Edwards to beat Belal Muhammad than Belal beating Leon. Now, if Belal's going to win, he's going to have to win with ground control and timing in that standpoint, which I don't think he can take down Leon with. Now, he could beat Leon on the feet if he did catch him with something early, but like I said, there's no way he does that. So I just think that Leon is going to put on a 5-round clinic, or in my Hot Takes video, I said that Belal's going to get desperate and he's going to do something where he overextends and Leon's going to catch him with a counter and he could finish him in the 3rd or 4th round. I think that this is going to be a very frustrating fight for Belal Muhammad, and I think it's going to be very apparent very quickly that Leon Edwards is a lot better than Belal. And I'm not saying this just because of his skill set, but also his style is going to be very good against Belal Muhammad because he does have such great takedown defense. I look at Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards, and Kamaru Usman is a way harder fight for Leon than Belal is because Kamaru Usman has the striking to go along with that grappling and that ground control. Now, yes, Kamaru has great cardio, and Belal does too, but I see Leon going out there and defeating Belal Muhammad pretty handily, but I would not bet on this fight completely, especially since Belal is going to go in there and he's fought Leon before. He's training with Habib, and I think he's going to have some really good strategies and styles against him, so I could be wrong, but 100% Leon Edwards, in my opinion, is going to beat Belal Muhammad, and that's if you guys want to bet on it, but I am pretty confident that that's going to be the case. But I do see a world where Belal Muhammad just digs deep and pulls it out of nothing to where he could possibly win this fight by decision, and if not, Leon Edwards wins by decision, and my hot take is that Leon gets that knockout in the 3rd or 4th round. Okay, just to recap my betting, my what fights to bet on for you guys, it would be Honorable Allen beating Giga Chikadze, it would be Tom Aspinall beating Curtis Blades, and it would be Leon Edwards beating Belal Muhammad, although the Leon Edwards fight would be something that you could substitute for a Gregory Rodriguez win over Christian Leroy Duncan, or a Molly McCain win over Brenna Brazil. But overall, I think this is going to be an amazing card. I am super excited for UFC 304 to show up on Saturday night. I cannot wait to watch and have a post-fight breakdown, just talking about the entire card in general. But thank you guys so much for watching Fight Season MMA, and we are on the road to 500 subscribers, so please go out there and hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to show your guys' support, and I appreciate it so much, and I will catch you guys very soon with more UFC content and news.